I ask for the truth on behalf of Kevin McTribouy. Is that how it's pronounced? Apologies if I got that wrong. Concerning career issues, career and finance issues, as Kevin has been asking there. What's all this about? I ask for guidance and insight in the name of truth, right conduct, peace, love, and non-violence. Blessed be to the truth always. And we cut the deck for you there, Kevin. Where it splits is where it's believed to be at its strongest point, or most energetic point, then, as you could say. I'll just move things to the side here. I'm going to deal out 3 cards for you there. The first card we deal is in the position of the recent past. You could call that the recent past influence, couldn't you? And then we can call the next one the present influence, because that's the present in the sense, I suppose you could say 3 days behind, 3 days ahead, whereas the recent past is, say, between now and this time last month, so that 3 or 4 weeks or so ago, isn't it? And then 3 or 4 weeks or so ahead is in the next card there, that vibrates with the immediate future. So you could call that the immediate future influence, couldn't you? So we'll just pop them there just so you can see them a bit clearly there, and I'm going to pull out the first card, and I'll just bring it round here just so you can see it there, and I'll flip it over nice and slowly, not to disturb its energy, and we'll just see what's going on here. You've got the energy of the spider. The spider totem represents creativity, doesn't it, normally? And in this deck it tends to focus on that sort of being meticulous, sort of attention to detail, dotting the I's, crossing the T's, that sort of thing. Yes, patience is a virtue, of course, and maybe you've had to be patient. Now, of course, that's what the card is advising you. Of course, I just wanted to when you got your reading glasses on, you can bloody see specks of dust on the thing. You're just tempting to scrape it off. So there you go. Notice that, of course, the spider spins the web as if maybe you should have been, if you've been doing it or not, I don't know, but you should have been maybe spinning a web in the metaphorical sense, trying to catch your prey, or should you say waiting for them to come to you. And maybe you've been trying to go and get it too much. You've been sort of get up and go, and maybe just sometimes it's good to just sit and wait. Patience is a virtue, of course. I got a sort of sense here as though probably you couldn't wait. Maybe out of necessity, I don't know. Maybe it's just a simple case of that. You mentioned your finances, of course, and although we can't give financial advice, I suppose the career side does touch on maybe you've been having to maybe budget, with you mentioning your finances. Maybe you should have been budgeting and paying attention to your finances more, attention to detail, a bit more meticulous, a bit more scrutiny, I suppose. I've just got a sense as though you probably haven't been, because the advice is there, and you probably weren't following that advice. You may have been, I don't know, but I just got a sense probably you weren't as meticulous as you should have been, and you should have been meticulous, and you should have been attention to detail with the budgeting on the finance side. I'm sort of locking onto that. I don't know. Maybe because you asked about finances, and there is a sort of strange connection going on there, isn't there? Let's see what the present has to offer in the sense of what energy is vibrating now. Is this the result of the past, in the sense you could say the recent energy advice there, that you should have been a bit more sort of attention to detail, and that's the cause of the present? I sort of, with a hazard of guess, I sort of think you probably haven't been paying attention to detail. I could be wrong, hope I am. But let's just see what this energy is here. The Wyvern. It's an interesting thing, isn't it? Because this is to do with secrets, and basically just says your secrets are safe, and maybe there are just certain things that you don't want people to know. Maybe you've got something stashed away. Maybe you've got something under the mattress, or whatever it is. Maybe you've just got a contingency fund, usually 5% of your income, isn't it, normally? Or enough, if you're out of work, you should have enough to sort of last you 6 months, which is roughly the period of time you are usually out of work for, isn't it, statistically? I don't know if that's changed. It could be more, it could be less, but that was the last time I you got to have enough money to last you 6 months. Chance would be a fine thing, but nevertheless your secrets are safe. If you've got any cash stashed away and you're keeping quiet about it, anything heading away there, out of sight, I suppose, not in the bank, or where the authorities can see it and check on you, or whatever, in that department, then of course your secrets are safe, providing of course you say nothing about it, and you've got that contingency to fall back on if need be. Of course, providing you keep your mouth shut about it and you don't tell others. You've been in a position where you should have been really letting it come to you. Maybe from a career point of view, offers of whatever it is you're after there, or whatever, come to you instead of you going out for it. It's one thing to go and search sometimes, but one, I suppose, can feel a bit like a beggar when you do that, can't you? Suppose feels as if you're grovelling. But if you've got some talent that you are good at, and somebody wants that talent, then they will come to you for that. That's what I'm sort of getting. I want to move to the next card just to sort of clarify what's going on here, because that was just really more of a guess than anything, an educated guess, which could probably mean nothing. But I want to just pull this. Well, this is an interesting one. The Carduceus. The energy of the Carduceus, obviously indicating here that it just says news from afar, and that may be the key to it, in the sense that whatever it is you're after is not local. It's something just a bit further away. It could be something further away in the sense, if these days with technology and the internet, maybe it could be something there where you could be working news from afar, but you could be working still at home. I don't know. But I'm sort of getting that sort of sense that, although it's surrounded by darkness, nevertheless, I always tend to focus on the snakes around the pole there, Kevin. If you can see the healing sort of energy there that it's got, as if a healing process is underway in some way to heal your finances, to heal your career standpoint. Whatever secrets you've got there, if it's a secret stash or if it's just a secret, maybe it's a dark secret. It could be a dark secret, the fact that if they found out they'd never employ you. I suppose if it's something like a criminal record, you can't really hide from that, but if it's something, a dark sinister secret about you, maybe whatever it is you're good at, there is a dark side to that. Providing you say nothing, that secret will be safe for now anyway. You'll be receiving news from afar, in the sense, not necessarily halfway around the world on the internet there, Kev, but certainly it could be afar, as in the sense of local, as sort of round the corner, where afar could be in the next state or the next city or something like that. So it could be the distance, it could just be proportional. I always tend to focus on the wings again on here, as if messages, of course, that could be the angel's wings, or in a similar sort of way the wings symbolise the movement of messages in that regard. So the news moving from wherever to you between now and this time next month. From a financial standpoint, maybe it's just best keeping in secret, either if it's a secret stash you've got, or a dark, or I suppose you could say a dark secret you don't want them to know about, otherwise they'd never employ you if they ever found out. Hopefully it's not a criminal record, because they'd know about that anyway. But other than that, you should have been a bit more, you should have paid attention to detail just recently, and I think that could be the falling. Maybe that's why you're keeping it secret now, because you didn't I wouldn't say declare, what's the word, you either overlooked something, or let's do that, you didn't declare something, I don't know. There's just something amiss here, that's been amiss, and you should have paid attention to detail. You should have spun a web and let them come to you, but you've gone out for it, and so you're having to keep it secret, whatever it is. But you will receive news, in the sense of there will be communications from a distance, but more proportional, I would assume, than halfway around the world. But you will be receiving some sort of communications concerning your career move, or whatever it is you were planning on doing, and then they'll ask you for the details, and you probably won't have them, because you should have been paying attention to that, and there might be just a bit of a mad rush to either get hold of that information or make something up. When I say make something up, of course, does that mean lying? I don't know. It just means maybe keeping it secret as you're doing now, but only answering what they ask. If they don't ask, don't tell them about the secret stash. Don't tell them about I don't know, whatever that is. I honestly don't know. But of course, with your secrets being safe now, that can indicate there is an opportunity for a second chance, maybe a second stab at what you tried to do last time. But just allow that to heal, maybe water under the bridge a bit for the next month or so. Maybe that's what that's pointing toward there, Kev. So for now, I think what we'll do, we'll cast a shadow over that, and until maybe next time, these cards for you have spoken.